Hey guys, it's Luke. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to introduce yourself. Very important, yes. Okay, but before we get started with that, don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, if it's useful, hit the like button. All right, let's get started. In this video, we're going to look at two different introductions. I'm going to teach you how to build each one. The first one is going to be a more personal introduction. It's sort of general one that you can use whenever you're asked to introduce yourself at a group or whatever. The second one is going to be more professional, how to introduce yourself, for example, at a job interview. Now, basically, the same kind of thing. We build them the same way. We just put different content into each. Now, what do I mean by build an introduction? Well, I will explain that in a moment. I think we should start, though, with some general tips, some things for you to keep in mind as you're creating your own self-introductions, as you're preparing maybe an introduction for work or whatever. Okay, let's look at some tips first, and then we'll actually build our introductions. Okay, so number one, the first thing to ask yourself is, and maybe the most important question is, who is it for? Who's going to be listening? Is it a job interview? So first think about, who is this self-introduction for? And from there, work on building it up. Number two, and this is really the way to build the introduction. Number two is to create a mental outline. Mental means it's in your mind. An outline is the structure of the introduction with the basic information. In other words, you need to know what you're going to say generally and when you're going to say it in the right order. So learn to create really simple, really clear outlines, because if you do, you'll be able to explain anything, to talk about anything. It's actually very powerful. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm speaking based on an outline. Finally, the last tip is don't memorize. Do not memorize. Don't memorize a whole introduction. It's a bad idea. Why? Because it sounds like you're reading. It really sounds like you're a robot if you do that. If you say, okay, I'm going to come up with an introduction, I'm going to memorize the whole thing, and then on the day of my job interview, I will remember it and say it. It's going to sound bad, it's going to sound fake, and the interviewer will know. Whoever's listening to it, they can tell. They can definitely tell. So never memorize. Okay, so let's practice this a little bit. We're going to do two different types, as I said, two different types of self-introductions. We're going to create the outlines for both of them kind of together. I'm going to show you how I create them, and then I'm going to give each one by one, okay? We'll do it one at a time. First one will be a more personal, relaxed, sort of casual self-introduction. Let's imagine that I'm at a group meeting and everyone has to introduce themselves, okay? The second one will be a job interview self-introduction, all right? So let's start with the outline. That's how we start. Build the outline, and then we practice it a few different times, but we do it different ways each time. It should feel kind of freestyle. The first part of my outline will be basic details, like where I'm from. So I'm going to write from Greenwich, Ohio, right? But then I want to add something to that because it's a little boring to just say my hometown. That is my hometown. So I'm going to add a which is right after it. And my joke will be that you shouldn't go there, maybe. It's just a kind of joke, okay? Then I'm going to just say what my major was in university. Overall, I'm going to talk about university and my major. And then I'm going to talk about what I do now, my occupation, my job, okay? Now, when I go to my interests, which is the last part, I'm going to explain each one a bit, but I'm going to list these in my outline just so that I can make sure I have them in the order that I want. So I'm going to put creating things, then I'll give the example of videos, I'm going to put reading and exploring, and then I'm going to talk about travel a little bit. Then, because this is a kind of meetup group, I'm going to finish by saying that I'm excited to meet everybody and maybe look forward to talking with people. After everyone does their introduction, maybe we'll all have the chance to get to know each other better. So I'll mention that at the end. This is a very straightforward, simple one. Might be actually too general, but it really depends on the situation. I'm imagining that this is for a meetup group where everyone is meeting for the first time, right? And so for that reason, I've made it pretty general and pretty short. Hey everyone, my name's Luke. I'm from Ohio, from a small town called Greenwich, Ohio. I guess most of you haven't heard of that. Yeah, I didn't think so. It's very small. A lot of cornfields, a lot of cows, not many people. So if you don't like cornfields and cows, maybe give it a miss. I studied philosophy at Miami University of Ohio, and now I'm an English teacher. So I make English courses, English learning videos, and it's fun. I love it. In my free time, I like to travel. I like to meet new people, try new food. I think it's a good way to expand horizons. So travel is really fun, and I really like reading. Reading is probably my favorite hobby. But actually, I usually listen to books, so I'm kind of an audiobook addict. But anyway, it's the same, right? Reading is reading. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you very much, and I really look forward to getting to know all of you. All right, so that's my personal sort of freestyle introduction based on my outline. You can see that I'm kind of following along with my outline, but I'm adding things here and there. And if I did it 50 times, it would be different all of those 50 times. Each time would be a bit different. That's kind of how it should be, because again, if it's memorized, people can feel that it's memorized. So once you make your outline, play with it a bit. Try a bunch of different versions, record yourself making your introduction, and then give yourself some feedback. All right, let's try to make an introduction for a job interview. Let's try to make an outline first, say what we're going to say, and then try to do it. I'll actually try to give an introduction for a job interview. As we talked about before, you have to remember, who is it for? So should I talk about my hobbies at a job interview? No, probably not. For a job interview, everything you say generally should be either about your past, why you're a good fit for this job, or maybe something about your skills, something about your ability to do things in the future. Connect yourself to this position, right? So it's going to be different. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you said in your personal introduction that you're not going to say in your job interview introduction. Very, very different. Now notice for this one, I'm not going to say my name at the start. I'm not going to say where I'm from. Why? Because that's on my resume maybe, or on my application letter. They know that. That's been part of the interview process. Earlier on, they got those details. I don't need to say it. I just start directly. So they say, please introduce yourself. Tell us or tell me something about yourself. Okay. I've been teaching English for over 8 years, and honestly, I still love it. I've taught small groups of students, one-to-one, huge groups of students, large crowds of people, videos, courses, you name it, everything. And through all of that experience, I think I've picked up the skills necessary to do it well. I don't think I was as good when I started as I am now, not even close. The skills that I'm talking about mostly are patience and a bit of self-awareness, I think. That's very important. But also empathy and the ability to notice details. So, I mean, if you're not patient as a teacher, then when a student has a question or they need you to explain something more than one time, they're going to feel that you're getting frustrated and they're going to stop asking. And if they stop asking, they lose their curiosity, they never really understand. And then what's the point? Right from the beginning, you might as well not have explained anything at all. So you have to be very patient. You have to be willing to explain things as many times as you need. And I've learned that over time. And now I actually enjoy the process of explaining something and making it clear. And when it clicks, such a satisfying, meaningful experience. Now, attention to detail is very important too. You have to be able to pay attention to one student compared to another student and know I should explain it this way to this student and that way to another student, right? Some students have different issues, for example, with pronunciation. Some students have the issue with an L sound. Some students maybe struggle with the zh sound. Whatever it is, you have to be able to pick out that specific thing, hear it, right, and then figure out how to explain it to them. What's clear to one student may not be clear to another. And so that individualizing of explanation is, I think, fascinating. That's probably one of my favorite parts of the job. Now, I think the other thing is empathy. You have to understand what it feels like to be a student, to feel frustrated, to not know something that you want to know. So obviously working with students, I've picked that up over time, but also as a learner myself, as someone who reads a lot and really loves exploring topics, I think I get that at a deep level, and that I think helps me remain patient, helps me notice the differences because I'm a learner, right? And so I think those are the main skills that a teacher needs to have. There are more, of course, but I think those are the critical ones. Now, as for why I think I would be a very good fit here and why I want to work here. So this company has a unique culture, honestly. There's great feedback going back and forth all the time. I like how people can give feedback no matter what the situation is and no matter who the person is. One teacher who's new might give feedback to a teacher who's been there for a long time, or an idea, right? And vice versa, and the other way as well. So I think that's really cool. I've read a lot about the company. I've read a lot about other employees' experiences, and it seems like it has a sort of great collaborative atmosphere. The culture, I think, is very attractive. And because so many different students from around the world study here, I think I would be able to have the impact that I want to have as a teacher. And that would, I think, give me a great sense of purpose. And I would feel, I think, happy to come to work every morning and have the impact that I want to have and reach the people that I would like to reach and help this company achieve its goals as well. I think if each person feels they're doing meaningful work, if I feel I'm doing meaningful work, then that's going to have an effect on how successful this company is at doing what it's doing, having its own impact, right? So that's why I want to work here. That's why I think I would be a good fit, and that's why I think you should hire me. I would really like to see your outlines. In fact, I would like to see your introductions. If you want to, you can put your outlines in the comments. If you really want to, you can actually film an introduction. I've done 2 in this video, right? You can put a link to that video in the comments, and I would really like to check it out. I will watch it. So leave a link in the comments or leave your outline in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And if there's anything else you'd like me to talk about, topics, things you're curious about that you want me to explain, that you want me to do a video about, let me know in the comments. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button, and I will see you next time.